All right, well, good morning. Before we get started, would ask this morning Commissioner Cheney if you would lead us in the prayer, and Commissioner McCann if you would the pledge.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for another day. Most of all, we thank you for Jesus that died for our sins. We pray for our leaders. May they be guided by your wisdom, Lord. We pray for healing of body and spirit through this COVID-19. Also, we ask for a hedge of protection around those that have to work. Jesus, you said, I am with you always, and we believe that. We ask these things in Christ's name. Amen.
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 I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
All right, well, thank you, gentlemen. It is 9:02. We do have a quorum, so we will call this meeting to order. We do not have any citizens' comments today. So item number 1 is consider and take action on minutes from previously held meeting of Commissioners Court on April the 14th, 2020. Of course, in our backup, we have the minutes. Are there any additions, deletions, or comments? Hearing none, entertain a motion.
Hearing none, Judge, I move we approve the minutes for the previously held meeting of Commissioners Court on April 14th, 2020, as presented.
And I'll second that motion, Judge.
Motion made by Commissioner Tooley, second by Commissioner Thomas, to approve the minutes of Commissioners Court of April the 14th, 2020, as presented. All those in favor? Item passes. Item number 2, and of course, this is something that we wish we had the gentleman from the Sons of the Texas
American Revolution.
Texas and American Revolution, yes. They're usually with us every year, Mr. Starr and the others that give us a rendition and a little history lesson on something that maybe we did not know about the Revolution, but keeping with that, since today is the anniversary of the Battle of San Jacinto, we have item number 2, which is consider and take action to proclaim April the 21st, 2020 as San Jacinto Day in Henderson County. And gentlemen, what we did do was take a previous proclamation and worded it for today, and if you let me, I'll read it aloud. Whereas the Battle of San Jacinto commenced at 4:30 p.m. on the afternoon of April 21st, 1836, in what is presently Harris County, Texas, and was the decisive battle of the Texas War of Independence. Led by General Sam Houston, marching into battle to the tune of "Will you come with me to the Bower?" and shouts of "Remember the Alamo" and "Remember Goliad." The Texians engaged and defeated Mexican dictator General Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna, his forces, in a battle that lasted only 18 minutes. This victory assured and resulted in an independent republic, which 9 years later became the 26th state of the United States of America, our beloved state, Texas. And whereas remembering April the 21st, 1836, every year is necessary and proper to remind the citizens of Henderson County of the sacrifices made by our ancestors, the valiant men and women who risked their lives and fortunes in the quest for independence, and to especially remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice in this quest. And whereas the Commissioners Court of Henderson County wish to join with the James George chapter of the Sons of the Republic of Texas and all citizens of Texas in observance and remembrance of the 183rd anniversary of this important event in Texas history. Therefore, we, the Commissioners Court of Henderson County, Texas, proclaim April 21st, San Jacinto Day in Henderson County, Texas, and urge all citizens of Henderson County, Texas, to recognize and participate in the celebration of this historic date in Texas history, celebrating the attainment of independence from Mexico. Gentlemen, in this time we talk about celebration, but we also have remembrance. We can't be together to celebrate our history, our events, or even our most recent activities and shared memories. But this is something that even now I feel very strongly about us remembering, that we hang to the bravery of our ancestors. Are any comments?
It's always a great history lesson. You mentioned that, and it's a great day in our history. 18-minute battle, pretty amazing that we captured Santa Ana and big battle for Texas. So, thank you for sharing, Judge.
I'd like to make a motion to proclaim April 21st, 2020 as Census Center Day in Henderson County.
I'll second that motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Cheney, second by Commissioner McCam, to approve the proclamation declaring April 21st, 2020 San Jacinto Day in Henderson County. All those in favor? Item passes. Item number 3, consider and take action to amend the emergency orders of the court. Gentlemen, this is in continuation of the COVID-19. We have our county attorney with us. We were here last Friday to participate in a meeting where we were on a call with the governor, where he laid out what his ideas were, and through the issuance of 3 executive orders, GA 15, 16, and 17, has precipitated that we make a few changes to our order. So, Mr. County Attorney.
Well, and just a little update on where we are. And of course, as a county, you guys all know we have 15 cases as of today, or as of yesterday afternoon. I want to remind the public that's listening, because I know you guys know, because we've talked about it at length, but I think the public often lose sight of the fact that this was about keeping our medical fields from being overloaded by having too many people sick at one time. I think the public often looks at this as the United States as a whole was trying to stop the spread of the virus. You can't stop the spread of the virus. I've said it before. It made it 7,000 miles across the ocean and spread. The goal never was to eliminate or stop the virus. It was controlling and slowing the spread of the virus. Texas, as a state, has reached its peak resources 6 days ago on April 15th. That was when our demand for resources, primarily medical resources, would have been at its highest. We have reached that peak and are on the decline. As of today, they're projecting that 1,364 hospital beds will be needed as a result of COVID in the state of Texas. As of today, we have 28,633 beds available in the state of Texas. It's projected that ICU beds needed as a result of COVID throughout the state of Texas will be 300 beds. As of this morning, we have 2,259 available ICU beds in Texas. So I say all that, if you're wondering, well, what does that have to do with the order? Is you got to remember, the orders at every level were designed and aimed and geared at keeping our medical system and our resources from being overwhelmed. I think we're starting to get out of that area of concern. If those projections are correct, they could peak back up, I guess, and there's been some speculation. But right now, I think the orders have done what the orders were intended to do, which is slow that spread and control that spread where our resources are not overrun above capacity. So the orders that I've given you, I made essentially 6 changes, and I'm going to run through those for you real quickly. The 6 changes from the previous order we had issued to the order that you will be issued today is, of course, we changed the effective date to begin immediately. We changed our locked door policy on non-essential retail businesses to mirror the language used by the governor of the state of Texas in the governor's order. And so our non-essential retail language now matches exactly what the governor indicated. And And essentially what those are is that non-essential retail establishments may continue to operate if they train their employees on environmental cleaning and disinfection, hand hygiene, and respiratory etiquette. They screen all employees before they come into the business for cough, shortness of breath, sore throat, loss of taste or smell, feeling feverish, or a measured temperature greater than 100 degrees Fahrenheit. That's exactly what we do here at the county every morning when we report. We screen our employees, and a lot of other businesses are doing that. Any employee that meets any of those criteria should be sent home. All employees must wash their hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds when they get to work. And then all employees must wear face coverings and keep their social distancing at work. So all of those is what the governor laid out for non-essential retail businesses to operate, and we've now incorporated the governor's language into our order to reflect that.
Clint, what page is that on?
That is, starts at the bottom of page 1 and at the top of page 2. Most of what I just read from is in that very top paragraph of page 2.
Oh, okay. I was looking for a title that said non-essential activity. Okay, I got you.
And the governor's order, he didn't lay that out in his order. What the governor's order did is referred you to the DSHS website, and then when you go to the DSHS website, all of that's on the DSHS website. So the governor's order did not lay all of that out. We laid it out, and then I also included at the end of that paragraph the link to the DSHS website that lays out those requirements for non-essential retail businesses.
Clint, where it says all employees must wear face coverings, is that only at these non-essentials, or is that at the essentials also?
That is only pertaining to non-essential retail businesses. And you guys know how I feel about these orders, and I'll still say that in my opinion, they pick on the little guy. Because you can go to Lowe's, and Lowe's may have 35 employees and won't be wearing anything, and yet we're going to make these small, typically under 10 employee type businesses have their employees make face sense. But again, this is coming from the governor, and we have no ability to control that.
You know, although we can't stop this, we could at least try to slow it down. For the second time, I had to go to Walmart Sunday, and I took a mental evaluation of people in there. 98% did not have a face mask on. I had my gloves and my mask and stuff on, and there was some groups that were just visiting in there, and I was real disappointed because I really thought that we was doing a good job with that, but I found out different, and I think until we do something to make them do that, it's going to be real hard to control this. It's just my opinion.
On the page 2, I also removed, we had a paragraph F that was in there that pertained to elective medical procedures. I've completely deleted that paragraph from our order, which means that medical authorities and medical providers will follow the orders of the governor, which as of today or tomorrow morning, he lessened the requirements and restrictions upon them to where they can resume doing some elective and non-essential medical procedures.
Clint, I didn't see where that started. Did that start today?
I believe it starts in the morning at the end of
It
the night.
actually starts in the morning, okay.
Right, at 11:59
Okay.
today,
I got you.
PM, 11:59 PM today.
Today, all right,
And that's in GA 15.
exactly.
So,
And again, mirroring the governor's order.
yeah, so it will, we won't have any local control provisions in our
Exactly.
order addressing the elective procedures for medical professionals. They'll be following the order and the direction of the governor.
Thank you.
Also on page 2, just a 2 or 3 word change. I added in hunting and fishing into the outdoor activities. That has by far, and I haven't kept any sort of chart or anything, but I will tell you, out of all the inquiries I get, I've probably had more people wanting to know, can I still go fishing? And so that was specifically delineated in the governor's order, that those were permitted outdoor activities as long as people are maintaining their social distancing. So I just went back and specifically included in our order. We have also seen in the last few weeks, and this is often overlooked, we've also seen a huge increase in calls for enforcement. So, the other reason that's important to me, or I feel that it's important, is our sheriff's department gets a lot of these calls that, hey, so-and-so's out there fishing.
Yeah.
And then they have to explain, well, fishing's permitted if you can do it and maintain your social distancing from people outside of your household. There's a lot of outdoor activities. Don't mean to get off. I know we had a call on some people walking. Walking and exercising, as long as they're maintaining social distancing with people outside of their household. If me and my wife want to go walk around the track, we can stand a foot apart and walk around the track. That is a permitted outdoor activity as long as we're maintaining social distancing from people outside the household. So again, that's a demand on our sheriff's department because he's having to respond to all of these calls that people are calling and reporting. So I wanted to make sure that I included it since I'd had so many calls myself about that. There was 2 references on page 2 to section B. I removed both of those. And then the last one was we adopted any subsequent version of the CISA essential business list, which would include the CISA 3.0. From what I can tell, reading through there, is I don't think there's been a great change in businesses that were essential and now are not essential, or vice versa, businesses that were not essential and are now essential. I think what the CISA 3.0 list did is there's a lot of the verbiage that changed, but I think it was trying to better clarify or better explain. I really don't think it changed anybody's classification as an essential business or a non-essential business, or at least not that I have found to date. So that's where we are. We left the expiration date of the order on April 30th. So our order will expire next Thursday, April 30th. So as this order is prepared now, it mirrors what the governor has ordered with one exception. Everything that's in our order is in the governor's order with one exception, and that is the Airbnbs or short-term rentals, where we have left that in the order to still prohibit short-term rentals until April the 30th. From a timing standpoint, if I can get into that, is we know that the governor also appointed a task force to come in and make certain recommendations. That task force, I believe, is set to report by next Monday on the 27th back to the governor with recommendations. That could also come sooner. We obviously meet on Tuesday the 28th. I don't know if that task force reports to him, and then by the time he generates new executive orders, I don't know that before, if all of that comes out late Monday, I don't know if we'll have time to really go through all of that and be prepared to do anything on next Tuesday's Commissioners Court meeting. So we may need to look at scheduling a workshop or a meeting on the 30th to address what we're going to do with our order on the 30th. We'll have the governor's new recommendations, if any, on the 27th, 28th, and can come back and do it on the 30th. I really think when looking at the projections, I'm really optimistic that there may not be a lot of changes come next Monday. And like I said, I know some people might criticize you for being optimistic. I think we as a county are in great shape. When you look at how the numbers have rolled out, we've not had a huge spike or a huge increase. We were at 10, 2-3 days passed up, we went to 13, another weekend passed by, and we're at 15. And I think those numbers are outstanding for our county. So.
Questions?
Under the Airbnb, also the tiny homes, RVs, does that fit in that?
If they're being used for short-term rental, does not prohibit you, if you own an RV, from coming to an RV park
Right.
and staying at an RV
Right,
park.
just the
But
short
if
term.
I own an RV out front and I'm renting out that for the weekend or short-term rental.
Short-term rentals,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I think I'd like you to clarify one more time, because with all the, I guess, orders that are out there, that what our differences are between the governor's orders, which is now, I guess, GA 16, and Henderson's county order.
The only thing that is different about our order is the short-term rentals and the Airbnb. Everything else, and we've actually cleaned ours up to make it match more of what the governor has already done. The only difference that I believe we have now and what the governor has ordered would be the short-term rentals and the Airbnbs. And that's something that, if there's people out there, because I've heard from a lot of the Airbnb owners, and of course they aren't happy with this, and they want to get back to the business of renting out their houses, and I get that, I understand that. But I think that you remember, the governor's the governor of 254 states, and there's a lot of counties that just do not have the Airbnbs and the short-term rentals. And I think most of the public, I'll be honest with you, I've been amazed at how many we've had, because I think I've heard from them. We have a lot of these Airbnb-style short-term rental houses. We've got 3 lakes. We've got 3 Great Lakes. We're an hour and a half at most from the Metroplex area. And we even have people that come from Houston and Austin because they come to our lakes and spend time. And we just have a lot of these short-term rental houses, which is why I think that's something unique to our county. That's not unique to the rest of the state of Texas. There's probably not a big demand for short-term rentals in, Midland, Odessa. But because we have the lakes that we do, it makes our demand so much more.
Questions?
Can a motion be made just to cover all of these changes at once, or?
Yes, what we have before us now is
Okay.
an approval of the amended order.
Okay.
But one thing that I would like, if there's no other questions, this order, as county attorney said, is set to expire on the 30th.
Right.
Which goes right along with GA 16. It is set to expire on the 30th as well. One thing that was not stated was that we have a declaration that is separate from amendments that will need to be addressed either the 28th or on the 30th. Having that to match, the governor is now at May the 13th.
Right.
And having that, we'll have to extend the declaration. Any adjustments based upon what the task force brings back and the governor does will be a part in another set of amended orders. And
Which I think we can extend that emergency declaration on our meeting at the 28th. I don't
Okay.
think that we have to wait until the 30th to do that. I would suggest that we go ahead and put that on the agenda for the 28th. We go ahead and extend our emergency declaration, but you understand, we can be under an emergency declaration and not have any emergency orders. So we're talking about 2 different things. That's originally why 3 weeks ago we did it in 2 different documents rather than one, is we don't necessarily have to have both. If you look at my optimism on this, I really think there's a good chance we're going to show up in a week from now and we're not going to have any new orders to issue or talk about. And I'm going to say that's going to be my hope, is that we can get to the 30th. If the trends continue as the trends are now, then I think there's a good chance we can let our order expire and operate under any that the governor. And I will tell you, I think there's a chance the governor's orders will only be lessened from this point forward, not increased.
anything else? Clint, thank you
Thank you.
very much. If there's no further discussion, entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to amend the changes to the emergency orders of the court, Henderson County, and take effect at 11:59.
Actually, I think the order says immediately.
Immediately.
Immediately, okay.
Yeah, immediately.
Let's change that to immediately, okay.
I'll second his motion, Judge.
Motion made by Commissioner Cheney, second by Commissioner Thomas to approve the extended first amended order of the Commissioners Court of Henderson County. Any further comments? If not, all those in favor? Item passes.
Oh, and is there a way that people can, will this be up on our website?
Yes, it will.
Yeah.
Item number 4 is consider and take action on memorandum of understanding between Henderson County and the Trinidad Volunteer Fire Department. Gentlemen, this has come up as one of the issues with COVID-19 is that the American Red Cross, who provides so many services to all organizations, and in this particular matter, whenever you have a fire or a incident where there are large numbers of first responders and law enforcement, Red Cross has for years been present and been able to provide a service that they refer to as canteen. And what this is where the Red Cross shows up and where you can have 50 to 300 people on scene depending upon the event, and they provide water, snacks, something, because normally once you're on scene, it could run 24 hours or so. And due to COVID-19 and the reliance upon volunteers, Red Cross is not going to be able to provide that service at this point in time. The memorandum of understanding here is between Henderson County and Trinidad Volunteer Fire Department to provide that service during this time for us. And our fire marshal and the county attorney both work quite diligently on this, and I would speak to have the fire marshal if he would come forward and lay it out for the court, and then our county attorney can talk to the legalities of it.
Good morning.
Just like the judge said, we become aware of this when Red Cross wasn't able to provide what first responders, we all call it rehab. And basically, they do provide this good service for us and provide, Gatorade, water, snacks, something like that on the scene when people can't leave from the scene and go and get it or send somebody to get it. Trinidad Volunteer Fire Department, along with a lot of our fire departments in the county, have rehab units at their fire departments. Trinidad has the biggest rehab unit in our county, and in discussions with some of the fire departments on how we could fix this issue at this time, speaking with the chief over there, Jared Mills, he advised me that they could actually provide for the entire county. And so I started out with a list of 4 bigger departments that might be able to provide rehab for the needs. But in doing that, then we would have to be tracking 4 different entities for the rehab and the resources used. So it helps us out that Trinidad is able to do this throughout the entire county, and we can track those resources through one entity instead of trying to track it through 4 separate ones. And county attorney knows more about the legal side of the agreement than I do, but it's an agreement that we have been working on now for a couple of weeks, and it's already been agreed upon through the Trinidad Fire Department with Chief Jared Mills. So if there's any questions for me, I'll be glad to answer them.
I just lost my train of thought.
Even though the Red Cross is not able to supply this, they're still going to be there to supply their need for the families that are affected, aren't they?
Yes, Red Cross is still able to supply needs for victims.
Yeah.
So specifically for the victims of any crimes or fires or something like that. They are still also able to do some sheltering for us, either congregated or non-congregated sheltering. They're still able to do that. But on this need right here, which is a need that we actually use a lot, and unless you're involved in this side of
the fires and law enforcement side of it. You really don't see it, and they really don't get enough credit for what they have been doing for us. This is it was something pretty big that we hated to lose, but a lot of their volunteers, like the judge said, are elderly people who put their time out there for free, and they didn't want to be out during this time and provide that service, so they kind of lost some of their volunteers. But yes, they're still able to do the victim services for us and some of the sheltering as well.
I know, just like you said, I don't think most people realize that they showed up at the scene and not only helped the victims of the fire or storm or whatever it was, but they also helped the firefighters with water, Gatorade, nutrition. So, I mean,
The Red Cross is
a big service they provide, and I'm glad that Trinidad is able to take on that responsibility for the whole county.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm really proud of Trinidad for stepping up, and the chief and the whole department. Is it the contract that doesn't have an end date? I know we're trying to or does it?
Right. That's more of a claim.
Okay.
It does not have a termination or does not have an end date, so it will last until either party terminates. But either party may terminate this contract with 30 days notice. So Trinidad can terminate it, we can terminate it, but it does not have a set ending date.
Okay, thank you.
And it's a zero-cost contract. Is that where you were going to go? It's a zero-cost contract, so there's not any money involved, so there's not an issue there of the term.
I got you.
Those were my two questions, but the other question is does, who stocks the rehab? Where does that money come from?
If it's supplies, we would actually be providing the supplies and things like that they would give out. Now, again, nothing that stops them. If they, as a volunteer fire department, want to contribute water, Gatorade, food, meals, they would be free to do that. But I think kind of the understanding going in that, we're going to provide most of the necessities during these times of emergency. Is that the way you said it?
That's correct. So Trinidad actually has a lot of this on hand already.
Okay.
And I will say that they didn't come out and say, hey, we need something from you. They come up right off the bat and said, we will just do this and help you out. But the reason I wanted this MOU done was because I don't expect them to just use all of their supplies in the county, not supply it back to them. So we needed this to be able to do that.
So what we're going to do is replenish the stock that we may have used on scene for a certain
Correct.
incident.
Correct. Every call that they go to, we will track from now on, so we will know exactly what's being used and what's not being used, so that we can just replenish their stock, because they're not charging us a dime for this service. And again, they're volunteers, so they're going to go out and do it on their own. So all we're doing is replenishing supplies that they may use.
I'm good.
And they won't just respond, they have to be contacted.
Correct. It is, and we've already worked that out with the sheriff and his department. So typically, the fire departments or PD could call and say, please send me Red Cross, and they would contact Red Cross for rehab. Now they would just contact Trinidad directly. They'll page them out like a normal fire call and tell them specifically for rehab.
Any other questions?
I also would like to say thank you to Trinidad Fire Department for stepping up and volunteering to do this, because it's a real big help, and we do thank you for doing that.
Well, it is really fair to say there were 3 others that were willing to participate as well in this, and due to the administration and the tracking of it, we chose to just go with one location. So there were 3 others out there as well that had stepped up to assist.
Thank you to those 3 also.
Now, anything else?
With that in mind, I move to approve the memorandum of understanding between Henderson County and Trinidad Volunteer Fire Department
I'll
with
second
the
that.
judge's authorization to sign.
I'll second that motion.
Motion made by Commissioner McCown, second by Commissioner Cheney to approve the memorandum of understanding between Henderson County and the Trinidad Volunteer Fire Department with the judge's authorization to sign. All those in favor? Item passes. Item number 5, consider and take action on District Attorney new hire with a placement of step 2 within the step salary plan. Mr. District Attorney.
Good morning, Judge
Good morning.
McKinney and
Good morning.
Commissioners.
Good morning.
I just want to start off, I haven't seen most of y'all in quite some weeks. I've talked to the judge a few times on the phone, but I just want to thank y'all so much for all the work y'all have done during this really unprecedented time, at least for anybody in our generation. I mean, we've had tough times before in this country, and we will again, but I don't think we've had this type of a challenge in my lifetime. I'm 62 years old, so I know y'all work very hard to keep our county safe, and I know it's not always with a great pat on the back, but I just want to thank y'all for everything you've done. I don't know, some of you may know, maybe you don't, but I've been down an attorney for some months now. There's 5 of them that I've got right now. We've got capacity for 6. I have a very good candidate in a person that we're kind of stealing from an adjoining county. Right now, she is a misdemeanor chief over in this other county, and she presently makes about what our step 2 attorneys make. And so she has some felony experience. She has some private law experience in private practice. And so I think it'll be a very good addition. I have interviewed her. My successor, Jenny Palmer, has interviewed her, and she is very enthused about this hire. I would really like to get her on board. She is available to come probably about the 2nd week of June is what we figured. So I would ask the court to allow us to bring her in at the step 2, which is $74,826. Also, kind of in conjunction with that, I'm asking that this court allow me to expend approximately $1,400 from our Chapter 59 seizure fund. And the purpose of that is because she is in her 30s. She has 2 young children. She provides insurance for both herself and those children. Her husband also works, but he has a separate insurance policy. For her to be able to come over here, you know, there's a 90-day wait time, even though she's working for a county. There's 90 days, and certainly during this time of COVID-19, you don't want to be without insurance if you can avoid it. I know there's many people in our county that don't have it, and that's always the case, but right now she does, and I want to be able to make sure that she has that. It's very expensive, as you may know, to get COBRA. And so what this would do would just supplement her a portion of what she would be out. She would be coming in the 2nd week of June, so her first month will already be paid for by the other county. And so that's really leaves 2 months that we would kind of supplement her. She'll pay the balance. And so I'm asking the court, and again, this is something else that I've run by Jenny Palmer, and she is on board with that. And so there's no disagreement at all whatsoever.
I appreciate you doing that, to run it by Jenny, because she will be taking over, I guess, January 1st.
Absolutely, and you know,
I appreciate you including her.
Kept her in the loop, and she is going to be very involved in when we start our budget.
Good.
For the following year. So you'll see more of her in this court, and
Yeah.
like I said, I want to work very closely with her to make a smooth transition.
Sure. Thank you.
But we've got a lot going on. I need another lawyer, especially once this breaks and we can get back into court. I mean, we're busy right now. But there, as you can guess, there is a flood of cases that are just kind of being dammed up and backed up. And so I figure that the last half of this year is going to be very, very busy in court. And we need to get back to our business, so I do hope we'll be able to lift these restrictions soon, but with, you know, certainly the public's safety and health in mind.
Sure.
I think when we set the step plan up, Mark, I think we did take into account that if we got someone came in that was qualified, that that, you know, and I saw the backup, and she's very qualified. I'm glad we're getting someone with her experience, and so to me, it's a good thing that you're bringing one with a little experience, a lot of experience, and to me, it fits in our step plan. If you've got it in your budget, that's always my.
Well, it's not necessarily in our budget, but we do have the funds.
Exactly.
Through, well, the main pay certainly is in our
right.
budget, but just this other money that I'm asking for,
I understand.
we're needing to get through.
No, I
our
understand
season.
that, Mark. Thank you.
So, thank y'all very much.
And of course, we will take into account that portion in the next item.
Right.
Is where we will be addressing, supplementing
money.
for the COBRA that she'll be having to, COBRA insurance that she'll be participating in.
How long has this position been open?
It's probably been open about 3 to 4 months, I guess. Amber Slayton was our previous attorney, and she took a job that paid quite a bit more down in Williamson County. And there were also some other reasons that she chose that location, but it's been, I can't tell you exactly the day, but it's been about 3 to 4 months.
All right, will this hire put you full staff?
Yes.
Well, judging at the resume, it's very, very good.
Exactly.
Clerked for Judge Love over in the Eastern District for a year. She looks, I want to say thank you for coming to Henderson County.
Yep. Well, like I say, both Jenny and I are very excited about the possibility of her coming, and she's basically told me, it's not really a possibility, it's just, we had to work out these final details, and I think she's excited about the opportunity to come and handle more felony cases as well.
Any further comments? Entertain a motion.
Judge, I'd like to make a motion that we allow our district attorney to use the placement of step 2 within our step plan to hire this applicant starting in June, I believe.
It would be
June, the second week in
second
June.
Monday of June.
And use our step program to help with that hire.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Commissioner Thomas, second by Commissioner Cheney, to approve the new hire with the placement of step 2 in the district attorney's office. Any further comments? If not, all those in favor? Item passes. Item number 6 is consider and take action to allow the district attorney to expend seizure funds according to the Chapter 59 for salary benefits. And this is, as we had just discussed, I believe you said somewhere in the range of about $1,400, which would take place after the month of June for a couple of months until she meets the 3-month requirement here. Are there any questions or comments?
Is this something that's been done before?
Yeah, we have over the years. It is allowable to expend seizure funds in the salaries and salary benefits area. It just has to be approved through Commissioner's Court. Any other expenditures out of it, the district attorney is free to use at his discretion. It's just when you supplement a salary or using it in salary benefits that it comes before the court. And we have done that in the past.
So for any other purpose, it's up to his discretion.
That is correct.
With the exception of being a lame duck, which we had one that came through earlier. That
That's
any
true.
office holder, that was one that came in, but any office holder that's in their final term would be considered, and they call it the lame duck statute, that he would have to come. Is there a upper limit on that? Yeah.
No, it's just that last year, and I think I actually did that some months ago.
Yes.
Came to y'all, and again, in that situation, I, even though not required, I had Jenny on board with that as well. And one last thing, when I got up here to thank y'all, I did forget to mention our county attorney, and I know he's been hard at work too, advising the court, and so I intended to give him a big thank you, and our sheriff and fire marshal back here. And so, well, thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
If there's no further comment, entertain a motion?
I think so.
I'll make a motion to allow a district attorney to extend seizure funds according to CCP 59 for salary benefits.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Cheney, second by Commissioner McCann, to approve the district attorney expending seizure funds in accordance with CCP 59 for salary benefits. All those in favor? Item passes. Item number 7, consider and take action to approve the participation of the Clint W. Murchison Memorial Library in the interlibrary loan lending reimbursement program managed by the Texas State Library and Archives Commission. Gentlemen, this is a program that we have been a part of, our library has been a part of for a number of years. This is an annual participation that must be approved each year. And what this does is this is, layman's term, a lend-lease program, which allows for libraries to share books. Books that, in an attempt to keep their stock fresh, trading around so that you may get more use without the expenditures of further funds. It's been a successful program, and they are wishing to continue it, and it needs our approval.
I think it's a great program that allows our library to use books from all over the state that they may not be able to get without this. It is called a reimbursement program, but it has no monetary value, does it?
I believe it does actually have some monetary value. I believe it was about, last year was about $1,200, I believe.
In book value or in?
Do you have that, Anne Marie?
No, it's about $200.
About $200, yeah. So,
It's something we've done, Judge, for years. What I remember, when we started sharing with the other libraries.
yes.
Yes.
Any other questions? Entertain a motion.
Judge, I'd like to make that motion that we approve the participation of the Clint Murchison Memorial Library in the interlibrary loan lending reimbursement program managed by the Texas State Library and Archives Commission for you to sign.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Thomas, second by Commissioner Tootley, to approve the participation in the interlibrary loan lending reimbursement program with the judge's authorization to sign. All those in favor? Item passes. Item 8 is receive financial reports, which we have none. Let me get through them, we're scrolling here. Item number 9, consider and take action on donations to Henderson County. And gentlemen, we've had 2 rather generous donations. And Mr. Fire Marshal, would you like to speak to them? These are for cloth masks by 2 individuals. There were 77 were donated by a Ginger Carter.
Correct.
And the second donation was made by 148 cloth masks by Miss Elaine Henson.
Right. Yeah, so sorry about that. We're trying to track all of these donations, so it's a lot to keep up with. So both of these individuals, these are handmade masks that they put together just because people needed them. No other reason. They're not charging anybody anything for them. They won't even sell them. If you try to give them $1 for it, they won't take it. So the 77 we did receive, and we do have those in our office, and again the 148 from Allie, and actually she's dropped off more since then. I think we'll be on court next week. She's up to over 300 to the county now. So we just basically need those accepted by the court so we can begin to distribute those out.
Of course, I picked up some for Precinct 1 for our guys. They were really glad to have them, and there's some great looking masks and great fitting masks. I really appreciate the efforts that they put in. I immediately took some out, and some of my guys didn't have one, and they were extremely glad to get them. So, thank you.
Yeah, they're really neat. The
Comfortable.
Alley made, you can slide coffee filters to
Yeah.
the sides of them, then take the coffee filters out and throw them away. So it's a big hit, yes, sir.
Well, it's amazing what people can do. At Precinct 2, ours was kind of hand-picked. I got the ones that were picked over, but we kind of got them hand-picked for us. But we are much appreciated for what these ladies do to for our county these days and our employees.
Well, we have received quite a few now, and we are we're trying to determine the next step of locations to push these out to as a part of the distribution program that Fire Marshal's office is managing for us. So there will be more being pushed out to the community and other services as well. Any other comments?
I just like to say thank you to Ginger Carter and Elaine Hanson for doing this, and stepping up and helping out, because it really is a big help. Thank you.
That is your alley, right? That used to work for you. I know where's Allie, and I think it's Eileen, right?
Right.
Okay, well, great.
Used to work in her office, and she contacted me as
Okay.
soon as this started and said, what can I do to help? Because she sews, and so, yeah, she's been every Monday morning, she'll show up with just bags and
Wow.
masks. I think she's working it nonstop.
Well, it looks good on me, by the way. The one I got. I know, and it looked really handsome on me, and I'm wearing mine.
Did you pick out the camo so you can't see it?
It's pretty. You have to see me at Brookshire's or Walmart when I'm out. I'm wearing mine. So. Thank you.
Judge, I move we accept these donations.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Tooley, seconded by Commissioner McCam to approve the acceptance of the donations of cloth masks from a Ms. Ginger Carter and a Ms. Elaine Henson. All those in favor? Item passes. Item 10 is consider and take action on payroll distributions and accounts cash sheets, which we have none. Item 11 is consider and take action on submitted contracts. We have none. Item 12 is consider and take action for right-of-way permits, and we have two of those today. Both of them are one's in Precinct 3, County Road 3700.
Yes, I have one, Bethel Ash Water Supply Company, 12-inch bore from property line to property line. It's on 7280 County Road 3700. And you'll have the paperwork with that. Bethel Ash takes care of their business over there in their area.
Questions for the Commissioner?
Hearing none, I'd like to approve this right-of-way for Bethel Ash Water Supply Company for a 12-inch bore, property line to property line on County Road 3700.
I'll second that
Commissioner's
motion.
signature.
I'll second that motion.
Motion made by Commissioner McCam, seconded by Commissioner Cheney to approve the right-of-way request from Bethel Ash Water Corporation, and with the judge's authorization to sign. Excuse me, Commissioner's authorization to sign. All those in favor? Item passes. Now, there's another one
I have
that's...
another one that is listed as Van Zant County Road 4800 and 4811. And what this road is it's a road off of 279 out of Van Zant County that runs into Henderson County, and at dead ends we have about 200 or 300 yards probably, and that's where the bore is. But it's for a road bore for a new water meter, and we don't have a Henderson County number on that road.
Okay.
So it's called Van Zant County 4811, but the last couple hundred yards is in Henderson County.
This is Edom Water
Supply Corporation.
Questions for the Commissioner? Hearing none, entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the right-of-way for Edom Water Supply Corporation, the bore under County Road, the Henderson County portion of Van Zant County Road 4811.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner McCam, second by Commissioner Tooley to approve the right-of-way request of Edom Water Supply Corporation
With the commissioner's signature.
with the commissioner's signature of approval. This is for Henderson County's portion of Van Zandt County Road 4811. All those in favor? Item passes. Item 13, consider and take action on submitted budget amendments. We have none. Item 14 is consider and take action on payment of bills. Ms. Lee.
Yes, for the 2019, hopefully the final 2019 payments, the amount of $6,731.18.
Questions for Ms. Lee? Hearing none, entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Tooley, second by Commissioner Thomas to approve the fiscal year 2019 bills in the amount of $6,731.18.
Are we almost complete?
I'm afraid to say that because every time I do.
Okay, I won't say no.
All those in favor of the motion? Item passes. Ms. Lee?
And then the 2020 bills total $235,238.79.
35 or 33?
235, 238, 79.
My bills are different.
One more thing, I got 233, 88, 73.
Is
that what you got?
I've got 233, 888.73. Oh, I see where she did send the revised
Oh,
bills.
you know what? She did send a revised.
She did send a revised one.
Yeah, she did.
Gentlemen, it is in the email, but it says the same as the 23388. Oh, yes, that revised one has the deletion of the,
$2,000 or something.
I'm trying to remember the proper name for that. It was a deletion of a reimbursement
Yes,
that was not incorrectly.
yes, that's exactly it.
That's what it is. The 233,888.73 is the correct number.
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas, questions?
No, Judge, I do not have any questions.
Commissioner Tooley?
No.
Commissioner McCam?
All right.
Commissioner Cheney?
No, sir.
Entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve $233,888.73.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cheney, second by Commissioner Thomas to approve the fiscal year 2020 bills in the amount of $233,888.78. All those in favor? Item passes. Item 15 is consider and take action on submitted plats. We have none. Item 16 is consider and take, 16 is open and consider bids, and we have none of those. We were scheduled to begin a workshop at 9:45 over the County Transportation Infrastructure Fund Grant, which was a outcropping or an outcome of our previous legislative session. And once we get these signed, we'll take 10 minutes and then come back and convene into our workshop.
Judge, could I take this time to thank couple people? Or is that?
Oh, yes, item 16 is consider and take action to adjourn. Is there any discussion?
Again, I'd like to thank our EOC. I do this with court. We've done it several times. The EOC meets every day, 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And there's several people in that committee, and it's short, not short meetings, they're long meetings, by the way. Joey Kimbrough, our emergency management coordinator, Shane Renberg, our fire marshal, and I'm not going to leave anybody out. Bodie Hillhouse, our sheriff, Clint Davis, our county attorney, Anne Marie Lee, our auditor, and one commissioner, along with our county judge. And these meetings are very beneficial. They're discussing everything in the county, every comment we get, every positive and negative comment. And people that know me know I'm a social person. I know a lot of people. I see a lot of people. I'm using my social distancing, and I think most people are. I'm proud of how it worked. But it's really hard not to go up and shake someone's hand or hug a woman. I've done that all my life. And I'm still doing some of that stuff. I'm just doing it away from them. I do a hug, but it's 6 feet away. I'm doing a handshake 6 feet away. I'm riding bicycles every day, Anne Marie. My wife and I have bicycles, and we ride every day. And we can ride in the country, and we can get out and enjoy life and reconnect, and it's really been good. There's so many positives that we could be taking from all this, and I'm a positive person. I'm not a negative person. And when I hear negative responses, it really hurts deep, because I know Henderson County is a great county, and we're very, very fortunate. We've got avenues to go out to the pasture. Chuck can go out to his Commissioner McCam can go out and work in his garden, his yard, and all of us got that opportunity. But we can also go out and do things and help people. We can help our neighbors. We can help our friends, our relatives. And to me, that's what we ought to be doing completely. There shouldn't be any negatives. We should be handling this as a positive. And I want to thank everybody, because the grocery stores are dealing with it, the filling stations, the quick stops, there's a lot of places, our nurses, our doctors, our county employees, they're coming to work every day. We're working every day. It's very positive for me to thank everybody, and I like the attitudes that I mostly am getting from people, but there are still some negatives, and I'm not letting it get me down. I'm keeping my positive attitude, and we're going to get through this, and we're getting through it very quickly, I think. But I do want to make sure people understand that there is a lot of thought and a lot of process that's going in to these decisions that we make at court every Tuesday. And they're very difficult. But anyway, I want to get that said. I want to thank everybody again that where we're at and what we're doing and will continue to do with a sound mind and a positive attitude. Thank you.
Well, I can't say enough of what Scotty said, and this being my first kind of event since the election that's been hard on all of us. The same people that Scotty mentioned have worked tirelessly on these orders, are the decisions that we had to make or put out to our county residents is not what we want to do, is control somebody and tell them they got to stay in their house and they can't go here and they can't go here or go there. But I'm going to lead up to what kind of extend what Commissioner Thomas said of it's hard for us to do it, but to remember this is a great county, or we wouldn't have chose to raise our families here. Also, that we are Henderson Countyites, that once this is all over with, guess what? We still have the same neighbors, we still have the same church folks, and we still have the same friends when this is all said and done. But the other thing is that we don't want to be able to have to tell somebody from the local level to stay in your house. You can't go to this place or you can't go that place. But in the end, we're all Americans. And not as a football player, all American. We're Americans that take care of one another. And Commissioner Thomas, it's been hard for me to read Facebook when people say something, because it's kind of like they all become PhDs. They all become medical doctors. They all come, I can't say that word, what's the, starts with an E, that's at Net Health.
Epidemiologist.
Yeah, I can't say that word, but, so we're taking the things that are told to us, and from the county attorney, from the judge, from Net Health, and trying to make the most rational decision and continue to keep people and working, continue to keep businesses open, and not try to shut anybody out. So we're close to the end of where we want to be, all back out, doing the things that we want to do, seeing our families, seeing our friends, socializing, and that kind of stuff. So just bear with us a little bit more. But the one person I'd like to thank is for putting in the order, because it's been 4 weeks since I've been out on the water, and I'm glad he said fishing is in the order now. Then now I can put the boat in. So, but anyway, stick with us. We've done a good job. Our numbers are low. Our self-distancing on our cell phones don't look too good, but we are back at a C from an F. So hang in there, because we're trying to hang in there for you. Thanks, Judge.
I think the prior two commissioners made good statements. The only thing I would like to everybody to remember as this thing begins to be relaxed a little bit in the next couple of weeks, I think we're going to see that happen, is we still have to remain diligent. Social distancing is what slowed this curve down. A lot of that other stuff, we may agree with or disagree with, but social distancing is what slowed it down. So I think everybody needs to, although we're going to start relaxing, I think the governor will and the president will in the next couple of weeks, but the population still needs to remain diligent. And I think that falls back to personal responsibility, which a lot of people say is the government's way of saying, I'm out. But I still think we live in a country where personal responsibility is a big part of what we do. And I'm ready for the government to cease ordering me and fellow Americans what to do. And for them to be able to do that, you have to use personal responsibility.
Commissioner Tully, I do not like to fish, so don't forget that sharing, with your neighbor. So
Yes,
I do
sir.
like to eat them. So anyway, I'd like to encourage everyone that goes to these major retailers to wear a mask and gloves, because it really does help. It helps you to be more careful and mindful of keeping your distance. And some of them's not doing that, some of them are. And I commend those that are.
Well, I'll close with saying that exactly what Commissioner McCann brought up, and really everyone has brought up, looking out for your neighbor, that personal responsibility is the basis of our self-government. That's the basis of it all. From the very start of this, almost 5 weeks ago, that we have all been along for the ride, because it's not been experienced, as our district attorney said, during our lifetime before, to have a pandemic come in. And it always boils down to two things: personal responsibility and doing the next right thing.
Exactly right.
And I am very proud of our organization. I've said before, you gentlemen here, the individuals in the EOC, and our other elected officials that have joined together. I've never seen the county work so well in my entire time with the county. And grateful. And I'm grateful for those individuals who are practicing personal responsibility, because that is the key. So, anything else, gentlemen? Thank you all for your comments, very much so. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Tooley, second by Commissioner Thomas to adjourn. All those in favor? Item passes. We will start our workshop, at 10:20?